Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today Eitan and I are sharing Wisdom That Heals. This is one of the most famous weeks on the Kabbalistic calendar. Energy-wise, it's connected to the portion of Pinchas, and it also is the beginning of a very famous period on the Kabbalistic calendar. We call them the 3 weeks. They can get a bad rap, but they too offer us a very unique opportunity for growth, for healing and transformation. And for the next 3 weeks, we're going to have to highlight them. So as we get into this week's energy and the different opportunities we have to take advantage of those gifts, we're encouraging everyone to be mindful and to pay attention to what resonates with you. And of course, to think about who you can share this wisdom with, because the more whole and healed we as individuals are, the more healing happens for the planet. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most practical and powerful tools to take advantage of the coming 7 days. We do that by gleaning through the wisdom of Kabbalah and extracting wisdom, tools, and even experiences from our past, from students that we worked with, to share lessons and tools that you can use not only this week, but any week. And because this is such a powerful week, it's very funny, even in the Kabbalah centers around the world, they're going to be packed this week with people that are coming to tap into and connect to the energy of healing that's uniquely available this week. But the thing is that healing means different things to different people. We need healing emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. And this week's episode is a great opportunity to unpack what healing means, what it can come from, what the different parts of us need in order to be complete and whole and healed. And so I'm going to turn it over first to you, Eitan. Where should we begin?
Thank you, Elisheva. I think the Torah and the Zohar speaks about the word shalom, which means peace, which means whole, as the word that encompassing real healing in every area in our life. Physical healing, emotional healing, healing of our businesses, healing of our relationships. So what is shalom or peace or wholeness? The Zohar speaks about the concept. We live in this physical world with the need for fulfillment, for circuitry of energy of the Creator in our life. And hopefully we receive it and allow it to flow for the sake of sharing. Whenever there's a space, there's a disconnect between us and the light, or whatever blockage we feel blockage physically, we feel blockage in our relationship, we feel blockage in the business. There's a need to restore circuitry of light in that particular area. Shalom, peace, wholeness, it means there's unification between the light and whatever area in my life. And that unification happened with circuitry. I'm allowing the light in, and my energy is acting like the light. So whenever I speak about the big picture called healing, is restoring light in areas of disconnect. That's number one. So let's give example. And because healing can go many directions, and like Elisheva shared, this 3 weeks period, which some would say it's a negative period. No, it's actually a 3 weeks period that the universe is helping us to expose all the area we need to restore peace. We always have them, but sometimes they're concealed. So the universe is giving us a gift. Those are the areas that there's a little bit too much intensity. There's a little bit negative emotions. There's a harsh energy you need to heal. So let's open ourselves through this discussion about what is some of the areas that we all would love to take advantage and to restore circuitry of light / healing. So for example, our heart. Our heart meant to channel the desire of our soul to receive love, to receive light, and to channel love and to channel warmth. At the same time, when we say our heart is blocked, there's many reasons, but sometimes in that energy center called the heart, we have energy of resentment that's blocking our heart to channel the light of the Creator, energy of anger. I might not be aware of it right now, but it happened a week ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, or 3 years ago. But it's there. It's blocking the wholeness. It will cause sooner or later short circuit. Resentment and light is the opposite energies. Light is energy of love, of acceptance, of circuitry. Resentment, it's energy of stop, of finite. It was bad, I can't stand them. And I'm still believe whatever happened, it's bad, and have bad feeling towards that person. What happened to this type of emotion? That emotion is emotion that opposite of light emotion, love emotion, acceptance emotion, trust emotion. It's the opposite. And that emotion causes blockage of energy and does not allow circuitry. And it's just matter of time in what specific area in my life that blockage will appear. Because spiritual blockage cause emotional blockage, cause sooner or later physical blockage. It can be in business, it can be in relationship, it can be in physical health. So imagine that this week, be sensitive to the energies and what's triggered and say, wow, I feel a little resentment towards that person, but I don't know how to get rid of it. Simple. Just go through your own simple meditation. You can use the combination Mem, Hey, Shin, which is combination for healing. Say it again and again, Mem, Hey, Shin, as you breathe. And then ask for the light. See the light entering through your skull and towards your heart. And ask that, please allow me to release this resentment, anger, blame, grudge towards that particular individual, because I know I'm just holding on to certain poison. And then second level, allow me to send and to wish love, light, and blessings to that person. Because true healing is circuitry, receiving light and giving light. So this is one area, one tool I need to pay attention. What is the blocked energy around my heart? Elisheva, what other areas would you recommend?
I think when we examine our operating mode and we reflect inside to see what behaviors, what habits, what thoughts are not aligned with the light, are not, or I could say one way to check yourself is to ask, what thoughts, what emotions, what habits take me out of flow? Even when you look at the human body, it's in a state of constant flow. A system in the body is unwell when the flow is blocked. If it's a vein or an artery or an organ, or the definition of illness is when one of those systems is stuck or unable to operate with flow. In Chinese medicine, right, there's a lot of parallels there with the chakras. And even for me, when I visualize the light coming into my body, I imagine like a waterfall or like a river flowing through into me and through me and pushing out, flowing through, releasing any blockages. But what's interesting about thinking in that way, right, is that even if you look at a river, right, something can block a river. And I'm not talking about a dam. I'm saying, let's say a tree falls into the river and creates a pool or a swamp in a certain area. In that swamp, bacteria grow, things can rot, there's decay. It's not a healthy state. And in our own minds, we have a lot of beliefs and thought patterns that create, in a way, an energetic swamp within. We look at a certain situation in our past that we feel was unfair. Maybe we were a victim. We're blaming someone else. We're blaming ourselves. We're blaming the creator. We hold on to past hurts, feelings, situations, and that holding on, right? If you in your listening to this can think of something that you know you're holding on, maybe you've moved on in life, but in your mind, you know, it's their fault, or because of them, I'm this way, right? And you can hear in the teachings, we talk about in Kabbalah that our tikkun is the result of our parents and our childhood. That's the conscious installation of those thought patterns or those behaviors, but our soul chooses them before birth. So it's not what happened to us that makes us who we are. Who we are is a product of lifetimes of work or lack of work. And our situation right now, and what led us to be in this situation, is exactly what our soul needs in order to reveal its light in this lifetime. So practicing letting go, imagining that those things, that the hurts and the stories that we tell ourselves in the past are literally like trees, logs, blocking the flow of light in our lives, creating a swamp where that negative emotion ferments and causes, I mean, really, like, to think about rotting wood in water. That's what happens in our bodies as a result of holding on to those negative energies. And again, you may think I'm a spiritual person. I've moved on. I'm in a new relationship. I don't let affect it anymore, but I don't want to see that person. Or, but I'm going to throw out all the pictures from those 10 years. We have to be honest and real with ourselves in order to achieve that kind of healing. And sometimes it's a matter of talking through it, journaling about it, meditation. But this is such a powerful week to do that scan, not only in our bodies, in our lives, in our past. Scan through your lifetime and take note of what stories, what pain and hurt, what blame and guilt and shame and resentment you're holding on to, because it's not only right now. I'm bothered because my boss is, and it makes me angry and hostile. And it's our lifetime is really what put us where we are today. And by releasing the rotting logs that are creating swamps in our mind, in our heart, in our bodies, eventually, we can make space. And that's really what's the beautiful part about that visual of the river, is that a river, it flows infinitely. And we are also meant to live in flow in an infinite and miraculous way. But every time we hold on to the past, to the hurt, to what was said, to what shouldn't have been, we create obstacles and barriers that prevent that flow. Even though externally it might appear like it's not our fault, it's not our fault. It's not about blame, it's about responsibility. I'm the one who's holding on to it, so I'm the one who can let go of it.
Beautiful. Which leads, I think, to essential theme, because the main fuel that allows us to thrive in life is love. We know that the word love, in Hebrew, ahava, numerical value 13, which is the same numerical value of the word echad, which is one. So when we're talking about the true oneness of the light of the Creator, it's actually manifests itself through the energy of love. As a child, it's so essential that we'll get love from our parents, from our environment. And we know when there's deficiency of love, especially as an infant, there's issues in life, and even though it's part of a bigger picture, tikkun. But for adults, we all need and want love and approval, because that's our fuel, love and approval. What is approval? Approval is you matter. You can do it. You have a beautiful soul. Now, the question is, where are we supposed to get it from? Am I still going to wait for my parents to give me love and approval? Am I still waiting that I'm going to get love and approval because I accomplished something? Does the Creator today, regardless what I've done, regardless how imperfect I am, does the Creator give us today love and approval? The answer is absolutely yes. The endless light of the Creator sees the real essence of who we are, which is pure, beautiful soul. So if the Creator gives me love and approval, I need to tell myself, since I know you, even though I feel guilt and shame and judgment towards myself, but if you can see who I am, even though in my emotional state I'm blind, I'm choosing to access the true perception, and I'm giving myself love, and I love and approve of myself because you love and approve of myself, which is not a contradiction to keep improving myself. Especially this week, which is the energy of healing. If I'm dependent of love tomorrow. When this and this will happen, I'm not connecting to healing. Healing is energy that is within us that we want to activate now. This is a week to increase self-love, and self-approval means believing in my soul because the Creator sees our true essence, our real potential. We allow us to see it as well. And ask yourself the question, do you treat yourself the same way you would treat someone that you love and care dearly about, in your thoughts, in your judgments, in your taking care? Because the energy of love and the energy of self-approval from within, not from the outside, is the beginning of healing that activate the physical immune system, the spiritual immune system.
I think one of the big pieces to what you're sharing is also about acceptance. That part of the struggle to heal something is also the struggle to accept. And especially when someone is experiencing a chronic situation, a moment in life or a period in life that doesn't seem like it's going to go away, or there isn't a solution in the immediate. And I say situation because it can be a situation of physical healing. It can be a relationship. It can be something a loved one is going through, or loss. And a lot of the disharmony that takes place in those times is because we don't accept what's going on. I had a conversation recently with someone who's a longtime student of Kabbalah, going through a healing challenge. And it's not life-threatening, but it's not comfortable and it's not convenient. And I asked her, do you accept where you are right now unconditionally? And she was quiet for a few minutes and she said, I don't think I do. Meaning, I accept that I've got to go to this doctor tomorrow, and I've got to change my diet in this way, and I've got to take these supplements and these medicines. But do I accept that this is from the light of the Creator and it's for my highest good? I don't. And just that revelation gave way to an area of spiritual growth that I don't think she had thought about before. But I also started to look at it differently. I know there's certain things that I need to work on personally for my own growth, my own transformation, my own wholeness. And I know there's relationships in my life that require more patience, more unconditional love, more even grit, to grin and bear it when it gets difficult. But before taking the proactive move in any of those areas, if it's relationships, healing, finances, spiritual growth, the first step is unconditionally accepting what's going on is perfect for me. I'm exactly where I need to be. The light of the Creator loves me immeasurably, and that's why I'm at where I'm at. So to Eitan's point, that love is really who we are and where we're meant to be. But if we don't start our healing journey, healing of any kind, with acceptance as the first step, I don't want to say that it's the complete healing isn't possible. I know that anything is possible. But with the first step is acceptance, the path of healing can be more joyous, more ease. I don't want to say easy, but more at ease and more fruitful than if we're resisting it while we're trying to solve it. It's like, I can give it so many metaphors about traveling. You can take the more congested highway, or you can take the single lane scenic route. Which one is going to get you there faster? Honestly, the truth is the one where you're going to enjoy it the most. So you can sit in hours of traffic and love where you are. And it's the best. Listen to all your favorite podcasts, catch up on your audiobooks or listen to your favorite music, and you can enjoy those hours like you chose them. Or you can be upset and you turn the hours of traffic into the scenic route. Maybe it's not the best metaphor, but hopefully everybody understands the energy and the attitude you bring to it matters just as much as which expert you consult and what book you read and what technical steps you take to bring yourself to a greater state of healing and of wholeness. And it's not a coincidence that this week's energy always coincides with what we call the 3 weeks of opportunity, sometimes called the 3 negative weeks. This is a period from today, Sunday, which is the 17th of the month of Cancer, the month of Tammuz, until the 9th day of the month of Av, the month of Leo. And historically speaking, it's been a dark time in history, year after year, or maybe not every year, but if you look at a lot of the major tragedies that have happened globally, it's happened in this time. What we understand Kabbalistically is that the spiritual ozone layer that we normally have protecting us from not being sunburned by the light of the Creator is absent, is missing in this time. And because of that, we need proactively ourselves to apply more sunblock, to do the things that we know we need to do for our own spiritual strength and protection. It might be more meditation. It might be more studying. It might be more coffee in the morning or in the afternoon. But it's up to each one of us to navigate these 3 weeks in the most elevated way we can. It's not a punishment. I compare it to adolescence, right? We've all, I guess it's possible that some of our listeners are still teenagers, but we've all been through adolescence, which if you're an adult, doesn't matter if you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, uncle, teacher, if you're an adult who knows an adolescent, a teenager, it's a very intense time. It's a very emotional time, but it's also an absolutely necessary time in which tremendous growth and expansion takes place. It doesn't help if we brace ourselves for it. When we embrace it and look for the uniquely positive possibilities that take place in that period, which, as Eitan said, healing. We've said time and time again on the podcast, you have to feel it to heal it. And many times the things that we're holding on to, those hurts, those pains, those resentments, we don't want to go there because we don't want to feel it again. But literally in the feeling it, we can release it. So as we navigate these coming 3 weeks, I invite everybody to be really mindful when things come up, when emotions surface, when the intensity increases to pay attention. What's happening right now? What's coming up for me? What am I noticing about myself? Because it's coming up so that I can deal with it, not so that I can deny it or suppress it or reject it, right? Every time we get reactive, it's a call to healing. The question is, what is it? What am I being called to heal right now? What is my body, my mind, my spirit, my soul? What am I being called to pay attention to? And through moving more deliberately and slowly through these 3 weeks, we can achieve incredible levels of healing and wholeness. I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow us on those platforms for more content and helping you to apply what we talk about every week. You can also visit weeklyenergyboost.com, where you can search through our archives, send us a message, or donate by clicking the donate button there. And as always, like, rate, review, and most importantly, share this episode. And we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.